Hello horror hounds, welcome to my horror house. I just received an early Christmas present to myself just about 5 minutes ago and wanted to share it with you because it is something quite special. It is the latest book from our St. Clair, as we know her, Regina from Regina's Haunted Library. Her new book, CARNI, came out on the 1st of December, and I got my paperback literally just through the letterbox. I've already got it electronically. I pre-ordered the Kindle version, and I've already read an advanced copy. I'll tell you why in just a second. And after I read the sort of advanced copy and had already pre-ordered the ebook version, I wanted to get myself a paperback copy as well, mainly because I enjoyed it so damn much, and also because this cover is absolutely superb and I wanted it on my shelves. If you have read any of Regina's stuff before, you'll know what a fantastic writer she is. Her book before this, Code Red, which I understand was very popular, which is absolutely appropriate, was such a cracking page turner. She's really in that mode again with CARNI. The advanced copy that I got, I couldn't get through it all in one sitting just because I started it late, and then I had to work the next day and I hated every second of my day at work that day because I wanted work to be over so I could go back and finish off CARNI. She's got such a facility to draw you into a character's plight and their wants and their needs, and to just with every chapter make you want to, I just want to know what the next little bit is and what the next little bit is. CARNI itself follows a disgraced journalist called Dag Atlan. Right at the start of the story, he kind of gets Me Too'd, I guess you'd call it. He sort of gets cancelled and loses the career he's built for himself and moves back to his hometown and moves back in with his parents and gets a sniff of a story, a sniff of a chance to claw his way back into the limelight, back on top. And the story happens to concern an abandoned amusement park on an island between Richmond and New Jersey, based on a real place that Regina herself knows and can see from where she lives, and an amusement park that was burned down in the 20s, but there is now, what should we call it, an urban legend there about the sort of the clown mascot of the amusement park that he, CARNI, of the book's title, is still an ongoing concern, still a force, a supernatural force, a sort of creepypasta, a sort of Slender Man kind of urban legend, and he sniffs a story in there and it's way back into the big time, so he just goes for it like the bloodhound, the journalistic bloodhound that he is. And come on, it's an R. St. Clair book, so we know that things aren't going to go as smooth sailing as he'd want them to. The reason I got an advanced copy of this is because I was extremely honoured to be asked to write the foreword for the book. And let me just open up the page. Foreword, Andrew Lyle. Oh my word. Excuse my little moment of self-indulgence. The foreword's short. You can skip it if you want and get to the good stuff. I'm going to read this again. Now that I've got a physical copy in my hand, I'm definitely going to read it again because I whipped through this. One of the things I absolutely adore about CARNI is the main character that she has created. He has his fatal flaw. It's absolutely laid bare at the opening of the story what his fatal flaw is. As a character, I think it's fair to say he's a misogynist. And what I love about him, and this is so, bear with me, what I love about him as a character is that the whole world tells him what his fatal flaw is. You have a real bad attitude towards women. And he gets called out on it. And he just, through ego, he doesn't learn. He doesn't learn a single lesson from his fall from grace. But the other facet of his character is that he's really good at what he does. There were shades in this. If you've read her other novel, Fashion Victims, she has a sort of a flawed protagonist there who works in the New York fashion industry and is working towards a deadline for a show that he has, a fashion show, a catwalk show that he has to put on. And he's really good at his job. So he's not as flawed as Dag is in this, but Regina has a facility to give us these sort of sleazy characters who are pursuing a goal, pursuing a thing that they're also really good at, and you kind of get invested in it and worked up, and you kind of want him to succeed whilst at the same time realizing, yeah, let's be kind and say Dag is rough around the edges. Let's say he's from a different generation. He's old school. He's a bit of a scumbag. Such an interesting character. While I was reading through this, I was thinking, wow, could I as a guy, could I have gotten away with writing some of the stuff that happens in here? Or because you can write about a misogynist and not be a misogynist. I mean, it's so simple. It's so obvious. It doesn't really need saying. You can write a character that has vile opinions or does vile things. And it doesn't mean just because they're the protagonist of your story that you approve of those things. But I do wonder if, with there being less clear blue water between me, if I was a guy in his 40s writing about a guy who was in his 40s thinking and doing some of this stuff, whether I would have the facility to be able to present that in the gleeful way that Regina does. We haven't even got on to Carni. I'm not going to talk about Carni. I'm not going to spoil any of the horrors to come in this. What I'll say is, if you've read some of her recent stuff like Code Red, or her superb collection of short stories, Women in Trouble, or Fashion Victims, or Unmasked, I think you're probably already on board to getting and reading Carni. I'm starting work on my next story, really tentatively. I don't have the kind of work ethic that Regina does, to my own detriment. But whilst I was reading my advanced copy of this, I just thought to myself, God damn it, I'm doing it all wrong. So I've I sort of hit the pause and I'm having a think. I did email her and said, Carni's made me, I'm going to have to stop and have a big think about my story. And I'm going to have a big think, because I was reading this thinking, God damn, this I know has so much work has gone into this, but it seems so easy, so effortless, so free-flowing. You can't just finish at one chapter. You have to go on to the next and the next and the next. And I just thought to myself, oh my God, I'm going to have to think. I'm going to have to rethink. I'm going to have to think again, because this is good stuff. This is the real deal. But I'm over there messing around with some old fucking nonsense. Oh my word. Carni by R. St. Clair. I would treat yourself to an early Christmas present, because this is a hell of a fun read. If you read and loved Code Red, a vampire novel, get on this. Get on it. If you haven't read any of her stuff, well, happy news for you folks. You can check this out. If you like it, I'm sure you will. You've got Code Red, you've got Women in Trouble. Can't recommend that highly enough as a short story collection. I read that short story collection and thought to myself about my own short story collection, well, I've done it wrong again. Andrew, you've done it all wrong. Look at what she's producing. I'm blessed to have her in my life. I consider her a friend, even though we've never met, and we've met through YouTube. She gave me my first break. My first story got published in Local Haunts, her first HorrorTube anthology. I was bowled over that she would even think that having a foreword from me in this would be anything she would even consider. I think she's absolutely fab. And one of the reasons I think that, apart from being a thoroughly decent person, and everyone in the BookTube, HorrorTube community knows this, she's a bloody good writer. I mean, she's just good. CARNI gets my grumpy seal of approval for whatever that's worth. Check it out for yourself. Make up your own mind. You can tell me I'm right later on. Or better still, for indie authors, tell her yourself in the form of a rating and a review on Amazon or Goodreads. I'm sure she would absolutely love that. Damn, it looks good. Yeah, I'm going to dig back into this straight away. Take care.
I bid you welcome.
I welcome you to my house.
Welcome to my house.
Welcome to my home.